Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, past mistakes haunt Fiji roads. Heated debate in Parliament over figures. A ministry records flu surge in Central Division.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Government says the inferior materials used in the past is the reason for Fiji's deteriorating road conditions. The poor quality materials and the absence of regular maintenance has seen our roads reach its use-by dates earlier than usual, and also forcing the current government to dig deep in its coffers to restore the infrastructure. Kelly Vadala reports.
The quality of materials, the construction methods and the type of vehicles being used are some of the considerations being taken into account to improve our roads.
We've been using this inferior material in the past, so we've not been able to completely eradicate the problems that we have. Historically, river gravels have been used because of a significant shortage of quarry stone as an easy source of roadstone close to the work, but these roads tend to deteriorate more quickly than the roads made from quarry stone.
Opposition MP Aseri Randrondra today informed the Parliament that Fijians are turning to social media to raise their concerns.
In our urban corridors, residents and businesses complain about road conditions. You just have to drive up to Samambula, Turek, Walelevu, Peeling Road.
There's vastly more vehicles on the road now than there were 3-4 years ago. And there is a weather consideration because some of the roads, we've been hit pretty badly around Nambua itself and Princess Road over the last few days with potholes.
The minister says the FRA has created a highway condition team to inspect roads at least once a month.
FRA has made significant changes over the past 12 months that will greatly assist this. FRA has restricted the maintenance element of its work, and the maintenance crews now not only focus on maintenance and do not undertake capital improvements.
The minister says they're also relooking at the systems and processes used to monitor how well FRA is implementing its budget. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The members of Parliament have a responsibility to the Fijian public and must not propagate false information. The statement was made by Attorney General Ayaside Kayum when he was given an opportunity by the Speaker to correct statements that were made by the opposition. Details with Rachel Nath.
The Attorney General corrected opposition MP Linda Tamboya on the current stance of Fiji's liquidity.
Factually incorrect. And it is utterly important, Mr. Speaker, sir, as we've highlighted on a number of occasions, that members of the Parliament have a responsibility to the Fijian public.
Syed Kayum also corrected a statement made by opposition MP Salote Randrondro.
I never mentioned state homes. I mentioned about bus fares. Obviously, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is very important for all of us to understand. All members of the House must know this, that we must speak the truth.
A point of order was then raised by Tambuya.
Not making up figures, Honourable Speaker, sir. It is in the Hansard. 8 to 10 years I qualified it, and he started off with a figure of $600 million plus, all the way down to $300 million. I was not incorrect, sir, and I asked him to withdraw the statement that he has made and the allegations he has made about this side of the House bringing in facts and figures that are not correct.
The Attorney General was then interjected by opposition MP Mosese Bulitavu, questioning the Speaker on what standing order did he allow the AG to make the explanation.
When the Attorney General took the floor yesterday, he wanted to address this question, and on a point of order, I disagreed with him. But I said that we will look at this question later. The memo has been presented. I've looked at the memo, and I believe it is in order that this House must correct itself when it needs to correct itself.
Ratuipeli went on to say there was no debate on this and that in the future, should the opposition want to correct a statement, it will be allowed. Rachel Na, FBC News.
Health Minister Dr. Feremi Wangai-Nambete says a surge in acute febrile illness has been recorded in the Central Division. The illness occurs when a fever develops suddenly, specifically the body temperature rises above 37.5 degrees Celsius. Akusida Tale reports that in addition to high fever, the illness can be accompanied by headaches, dizziness, sweats, chills, muscle pain, joint pain and weakness.
Health centers and hospitals in the Central Division are recording an increase in outpatients with flu-like symptoms.
Tuesday evening was it? I went at 7:30, went through Walilebu. There were 7 doctors working, but still about another 60 to 100 waiting outside. And they've been going full on. So Walilebu is churning out about 700 to 1,000 in a 24-hour cycle.
Medical officials are working together to ensure this is controlled and at the same time raise more awareness.
Patients are coming early, even if it's a small flu. It's taking a bit of a challenge on us, but we'll rise to the challenge. And our officers on the ground, they know what the expectations are. They've got algorithms, what is likely to be a lepto, what is likely to be, typhoid or flu. They've got algorithms that they're working with, and we're just trying to support one another.
Dr. Feremi Wangai-Nambete says they're also monitoring other divisions and the public has been advised to seek urgent medical attention if symptoms persist. The ministry has also implemented a triage system where patients who require urgent medical attention will be seen by doctors and nurses first. Akusit Tale, FBC News.
Lands Minister Ashnil Sudhakar has today clarified that the idle land at Lot 2 Botanical Garden in Suva is currently under the control of the state. Questions were raised in Parliament today on how the land was allocated to the Indian government and whether any consultation was done. The piece of land is valued at $1.2 million, and in exchange, the Fijian government has been given land in New Delhi, which is valued at $117 million. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Lands Minister says they enter into reciprocal arrangements with governments when it comes to building chanceries or embassies. He revealed that few years back when Ratu Nengama Lalambalavu was the Minister for Lands, a piece of state land was transferred to build an embassy.
When the US embassy was supposed to be moved from this city area to other part of Suva, it's now currently moved to Tamavua. There was a crown grant where the state land, a piece of state land in the most prime location of the municipality and the highest peak of the municipality was converted from crown lease, from a crown piece of land to freehold, and then subsequently transferred to the US Embassy, the government of United States. And that time, the Minister for Lands was Ratu Nengama Lalambalavu. His signature exists on the crown grant.
Opposition MP Ratu Nengama Lalambalavu then raised a point of order, saying this is misrepresentation.
The issue of correction here is that piece of land used to be leased by Telecom, and Telecom sold their interest to the American Embassy. It's only through the request of the American Embassy to the government, that they wanted a more secure land tenure there, that the Director of Lands, who had the powers then, exercised the authority with the endorsement of the government of the day.
The Lands Minister says for the land at the Botanical Garden, it is under state control.
The issue here is that this land currently sits on state title, and state is doing what is within its powers. The rest of it, the consultations will be done by the Director of Country Planning as part of the local government there. The process is there.
Meanwhile, Indian High Commissioner to Fiji, Vishwas Sapkal, says to continue their long-term partnership, they had signed an agreement to exchange lands to build their chanceries. He says they want the people of both countries to continue benefiting from the close bond. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The national budget for the 2019-2020 financial year will be delivered on June 7th. The government and opposition unanimously agreed to amend the April-November sittings. Government leader Inia Seruratu says the budget debate will be held a week after the address from June 17th to the 21st. There will be another session on August 5th to the 9th, while the session for next month and July have been removed to allow the Parliamentary Standing Committees to do its work. The next sitting is scheduled for April 1st. Still to come, over $163 million invested in rural electrification. An application ruling for Australian couple on Monday. Details after the break.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma, ngo ngai nakas on do rong nam bula fep, nam bandu ay na sere.
Hoya o vasit sai se lambasa, e on do talita na warong nam bula FM nam bandu ay na sere.
Gua do timeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong nam bula FM, nam bandu ay na sere.
Naivango fane na tau niongo singatoka kita ndo talita ka Bula FM namba 2 na sere.
Bula FM namba 2 na sere.
For the past 5 years, government has invested around $163 million in the rural electrification projects. Infrastructure Minister Choneo Sumate revealed this while clarifying the provision of electricity to rural farmers. Ali Kimbia with the story.
In an effort to provide 100% access to electricity in the next 2 years, the government is focused on its rural electrification project.
Out of that money, 92.8 million, out of it 163 million, has been paid to EFL for extending the grid extension, for 367 schemes for a total of 12,417 houses.
However, Choneo Sumate says some ongoing projects will be hindered because of the many challenges they face. He says there are not enough contractors.
One other major challenge that we have is the limited number of contractors that meet the requirements of EFL. For safe. We don't want any Tom, Dick and Harry just to come in and do the wiring all of a sudden and then something blows up.
In this year's budget, the government has allocated an additional $47 million for the construction of 176 schemes. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The Suva High Court will make a ruling on the no case to answer application filed by Yvette Nikolich's lawyer. The Australian couple, Yvette and John Nikolich, have been charged for drug-related offences. Catherine Krishna has been following the case and filed this report.
Yvette Nikolich's lawyer has filed a no case to answer in the High Court this morning. The defence stated that for counts 1 and 3, the accused has been charged with illegal importation of illicit drugs and ecstasy tablets, and the charges are defective. They argue the importation was never complete as the drugs did not reach the designated recipients. They also argued that prosecution failed to prove that Yvette had intention or knowledge of the drugs on board their yacht, the Shenanigans. For the charges of being in possession of illicit drugs and arms and ammunition, defense filed that the accused had no knowledge of the presence of the items on the yacht. They claimed all charges against the first accused are defective. The DPP lawyer in his response says both the accused have a case to answer. DPP argues bringing drugs to Fiji at any point in time is illicit importation. Meanwhile, John Nikolich's lawyer has confirmed that his client will not file a no case to answer application. John's lawyer is yet to reveal whether his client will take the stand, will exercise his right to remain silent or call in witnesses to prove his innocence. The matter has been adjourned until Monday. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Fiji National Provident Fund recovered $3.25 million in outstanding contribution by waiving penalties. Chief Executive Chochi Koroi says a total of 499 employers used the penalty waiver period from September to December to clear their debt. The penalty waiver was activated to enable employers to pay their outstanding debt. Meanwhile, 1,095 employers who fail to clear their debts will be subject to a penalty of $100 per employee per month. Koroi says more than $9 million is still owed in outstanding contributions. A French Navy patrol boat is currently berthed at the Lautoka Wharf and will be involved in a few missions with relevant authorities. The crew members have been working closely with the Fiji Navy. Felipe Naikaso has more.
This French patrol boat has been involved in maritime surveillance, monitoring of illegal fishing and trafficking of drugs over the past 2 months in the Fiji waters.
So we patrol day and night far from the coast to report. So it was a good mission too. We report lots of fishing vessels.
The main focus for the patrol boat is to provide information. Over the past few months, they have come into contact with more than 30 fishing vessels.
It's what we want to do there, to exchange with Fijian Navy. For example, 2 days ago, we were at sea with the RFNS Kikau.
The patrol boat is also open for the public to visit before it departs on Monday for New Caledonia. Philip and Ikaso, FBC News.
Coming up in sports later with Jamie, former Fiji Sevens manager laid to rest. But first, Rachel is here now with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Sponsorship boost for WIB Awards. And in growing Fiji, Carpenters Finance opens 12th service branch. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Jenny Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Osori. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Osori. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, businesswomen now have a platform to receive recognition for their hard work. During the launch of the Women in Business Awards last night, President Nurbano Ali says they continue to promote women in leadership and executive positions. Kritika Kumar reports.
The award not only recognizes women for their contribution but also boosts their finances.
The cost is, you could safely say it's around $450,000, and that's cash and kind, so you can divide that by 50% each on either side. There's a lot of people get involved, a lot of our sponsorship support, and a lot of people get mobilized. It is a massive event.
Dr. Nurbano Ali says the award also helps business gain popularity.
Tell us, the feedback we get is as soon as they get the award, they have so much visibility. Everybody wants to know them, everybody wants to interview them, their business grows, they're known in the marketplace. So it's an award, a recognition, just gives you that extra feather in your cap.
The Westpac chief executive, while handing over an $80,000 sponsorship check, says Fiji has many women with amazing skills and potential.
The stories are so important, providing other women and girls positive role models and showing what is possible, that females can and do excel in whatever profession they choose.
The theme for this year's Women in Business Award is Think Equal, Be Bold. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Fijian Holdings Group has recorded a 22% growth for 6 months ending December 31st, 2018. The group recorded a pre-tax profit of $25.59 million compared to $20.91 million in the same period last year. Now, group after-tax profits for the 6 months stood at $16.25 million compared to $12.97 million achieved in the same period last year. FHL says contributions from major sectors of tourism, construction and retailing division continue to support the overall growth performance. And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
A quick look at Forex market. Trade tensions between the US and China continue to weigh on sentiment. The two sides are reported to be far apart on reform demands as high-level talks continue in Beijing. The US dollar came under a bit of pressure today. Their retail sales data reinforced expectations that Federal Reserve may not hike rates this year. US retail sales posted their largest decline since September 2009. Perhaps a sign of weakness in the consumer sector, which accounts for more than 2/3 of the economy. Growth concerns have also caught investor attention after China's factory inflation decelerated for the 7th month in a row on softening demand. That comes after data showed that Germany, which is the Euro region's biggest economy, stagnated in the 4th quarter. And that's all from HFC Bank for this week. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. On to the exchange rates as it was set this morning. The Fijian dollar finished the day on a steady note. Our dollar was on the rise against all but the New Zealand dollar, the Kina and the Japanese yen. As for the commodities market, oil prices continued its rise to end the day at $54.67 a barrel. Gold ended at $1,311 per ounce, and silver went further down by 3 cents, ending at $15.56 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, Fijians living along the Suvarnasori corridor will now be able to directly access the services provided by Carpenters Finance as they open their new branch in Nambua Suva today. General Manager Alok Mishra says the next business centre will open in Vatualevu, Nadi. He says apart from this, they will soon start providing mobile financial services to Fijians in rural areas. Mishra adds through this new initiative, people will be able to access personal loans and will be able to pay their bills.
We are launching a very new concept in Fiji. That is the van concept, whereby it will be a mobile financial services. It will go in the villages, deep villages, and anybody wants to pay Carpenters Finance debt money, they can pay.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for this week. Jamie joins you now with all the very latest in sports.
Thanks and good evening in sports tonight. Do or die for Lautoka in last OCL pool match. And former Fiji Sevens manager laid to rest. This and more after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The Lautoka football side will exit the OFC Champions League early if it fails to win its last pool match against Central Sports with a good goal margin. The Blues are currently second on the points table in Pool B. Varshnal Prasad has more.
This is not a new situation for former national team striker Hosea Vakatelesau, who knows exactly the approach needed to take in a do-or-die match.
The message to the players is try to forget about the last game. It's gone. We'll try and work on our game plan, what the coaches has told us to do, and we'll try and improve on that.
The 33-year-old veteran believes all the players should be switched on for their game against the Central Sports.
We scored 2 goals, so we'll try to wind up our mistake in the last 10 minutes because it really counts in the game.
Stylish Vanuatu midfielder Bonkalo is ready to deliver his best shot for the Blues.
Lautoka team is, for tomorrow is to play as a team. Yeah. We play as a team to win that match. If we have to give every energy for us because this is a deciding game.
Lautoka plays Central Sports at 4 p.m. at Churchill Park tomorrow. Varshnal Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Nasinu football side is eager to give the star-studded Super team a run for their money in its Vodafone Premier League clash on Sunday. The side that upset Lambasa last weekend plans to come out guns blazing, knowing they face another tough battle. Melita Vanga reports.
The Nasinu team has put behind its 2-1 win against Lambasa and are now focused on sealing their second victory in the VPL.
We won't lean on the Lambasa's game. We are preparing to go forward, so we'll see what Suva brings us. Been doing some personal trainings, including the team training. Suva is a good team, but we'll try our very best to give them a good time.
The side has won 1 game and lost 1. However, 20-year-old Bailan Rock and Rocker believes their fans will not be disappointed this weekend.
This week's preparation has been tough. We've been going through a lot of game plans, and we are trying our best to do our training also we could perform during the game.
The senior president O'Neill Chan believes his young squad are capable of producing positive results.
We have a young squad and there's more potential in this place, and our aim is to give them more game time.
Nasinu has 3 points and is currently 5th on the standings. A win this weekend will give them 6 points. Nasinu takes on Sova at the ANZ Stadium at 3 p.m. Sunday. Melita Banga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Airways Fijiana 7 side is drawn in a tough pool alongside USA, Ireland and England for the Kitakyushu tournament in Japan. The Sayasi fully coached team won the trophy challenge in Sydney earlier this month and are expected to face a mammoth task against its opponents in Japan. The current Women's World Series leaders, New Zealand, takes charge of Pool A with France, Russia and Japan. Australia heads Pool C and will face Canada, Spain and China. More than 100 people gathered to pay their last respects to former Fiji Sevens manager Issei Rayawa this morning. Family, friends and colleagues of Rayawa gathered at the Vunindako Church in Cunningham, Suva for his funeral service. In his time with the FRU, Rayawa also managed the Fiji Warriors, Suva and Madhuwata provincial teams. He was the Fiji men's sevens manager in 2013 and 2014. Only 7 athletes have qualified for the Pacific Games with only 1 trial left to go, causing some concern for Fiji athletics. However, technical advisor Albert Miller, while labeling the qualifying standards for some events unrealistic, has called for its review. Koroi Tandolala with this report.
Most athletes are still in doubt for Pacific Games as they haven't met the A standard qualifications.
We need to be more realistic in our qualifying standards. You can't set a qualifying standard that's either the South Pacific Games record or close to the South Pacific Games record when you know your best athlete is jumping, 5-10 centimeters below or something like that.
Albert Miller also revealed that while they had good runners in the past, the current athletes will need to work an extra mile to be on the same level.
You need to go on the standard, the current standard of the athletes. You can't use, standards that were used, 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago we had some awesome athletes, in both male and female.
Pesanox Chief Executive Lorraine Ma says she is confident more athletes will qualify in the next trial.
As it gets closer to the games and closer to the final qualification time, athletes will start to peak and we will have more athletes qualifying. In the other sports, which are not so bound by times and distances, they have different types of criteria, and I'm quite confident that in the other sports they're already getting a lot of athletes close to qualifying.
Athletics Fiji's final trial for the Pacific Games will be held in Lautoka next week. Koroi Tandulala, FBC Sports.
Specialist first 5/8s are becoming a rare commodity for New Zealand Super Rugby teams. The Hurricanes, Blues and the Highlanders are starting players with little or no Super Rugby experience, while the Chiefs open their campaign with a player who doesn't usually play in the position. The Brumbies play the Rebels at 8:45 tonight, and you can watch that match live on the FBC Sports channel. In today's Play of the Day, some silly decision-making by Alexander Lacazette that resulted in him being sent off as Arsenal slumped to a disappointing first leg 1-0 defeat to Bate Barazov in the Europa League last 32. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in new media, has Facebook changed the romantic landscape forever? Find out after the break.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से जैसे फ्रेंडी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
In new media, we might take social media for granted, but it has changed our lives in more ways than you can imagine. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you had a wonderful sunny Friday. Let me say that again. It's Friday, which means it's time to let loose and relax. But all this relaxation will be done indoors as showers are likely to visit us in the weekend. Not the type of news I was looking forward to. A look in the west, quite mild scattered clouds and showers will be around. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, quite humid with heavy showers expected later tonight. Low-lying areas and roads could be flooded, so take extreme care. And up north, quite cool with showers also expected. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 1:07 a.m. with low tide at 7:07 a.m. Sunrise at 5:59. For tomorrow, as said earlier, showers associated with low pressure system will occupy the group. Tomorrow's temps, Suva will be sitting at 30 degrees. And looking further on to Sunday, the showers are likely to drift away. Well, let's hope for the best. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, who is your team for this year's Rugby Championship?
Crusaders are definitely the strongest team in Super Rugby. That's why they're my favorite. I like the Highlanders because there's Fijian boys playing there and they're a really strong team too. Well, my favorite Super Rugby team are the Reds because Samu Kerevi is captaining the side.
The Fijian boys that have played over there since the Woody Baka days, so I'm still with them, and black and red all the way.
I'm one of those guys who likes the underdog kind of stuff. But Highlanders did win the competition some years back, 3 or 4 years ago. And of course now Howler is here, he's going to win it for us.
Even before my son was playing, Brumbies was my team. So now he's playing there, Brumbies will always be my team.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, Spain gets a smart city with Disney-like theme park. Let's look at some of the amazing infrastructure this city will have. Recapping the main stories for tonight, past mistakes haunt Fiji roads, heated debate in Parliament over figures, and Ministry records flu surge in Central Division. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, is drugs becoming a major social problem for Fiji? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Keshni Kumar from Nausori. The picture was taken in Singatoka. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma ngo ngai nakas ondo bagrong na Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa ya ondo talita na barong na Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na barong na Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Wana tuma na Bula FM nambang 2 na sere maluan.
Na vengo fane na tao ngo singa toka kita ondo talita kana Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.